Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of Planetary's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, I want to do a little quick video real quick. Because this was actually was supposed to be before the video I just got into, but I felt the spirit just jumped in me to do that video about the planetary family. But for the most part, I want to talk about Mars and Venus, a mother's and her oldest son relationship. Now, it's not going to be what you think, because each planet represents many different realms of realities, but we're going to break them down specifically. So we're going to talk about the moon as far as the mother and as far as the relationship. And we're going to talk about Mars as far as the sun and as far as the opposition or aggressive type energy that you're going to receive. Now, only reason I'm calling it a relationship between a mother and her son is because that's from a broad perspective why this influence, what I'm about to talk about, play out in its way. But it really doesn't have nothing to do with them, just the actual planet energies itself. Now, if you want to know why you attract a certain, now we talk about relationships. If you want to know why you attract, like, you ever had like this certain people like you and you didn't know why, even if you looked at your planetary signs and you was like, I'm not even that sign or things of that nature. Here's why. You look at the moon, and then you look at the houses in. The house is where gives the moon direction. So in this case, it doesn't matter what sign your moon is, or it doesn't matter what actual house placements you have. It just matters what house your actual moon is in. So, for an example, if your moon is in the first house, then it doesn't matter what sign is in your first house. If you have the moon in your first house, you're going to attract a lot of Aries. Because here's the thing, the sun is what you give off, and the moon is what you receive. So if you're receiving, that means you're attracting. And your sun is what you give off, so that means that's what you push off. So the sun and the moon is like your magnets. It's your breath. It's your in and out. It's your yin and yang. You see what I'm saying? So the moon. So only way you won't like the person that's actually attracted to you if they don't show no signs of the attributes of whatever house your sun is in. So say your moon is in your first house, so you attract a lot of Aries. But say your sun is in your sixth house. If that person that you attracted don't show any attributes of the sixth house, which is routine, sturdiness, things they can do on a day-to-day basis, time, scheduling, you know what I'm saying, work ethic or things of that nature. If they don't show any of those signs, then you're not going to be attracted to that person back. See what I'm saying? If your moon was in the second house, you're going to attract a lot of Tauruses, or a person who carry a lot of Taurus-like energy. You know what I'm saying? So they may have a lot of Virgo or Capricorn in their chart, or they may just straight up be a Taurus. You see what I'm saying? If you got the moon in the third house, then you're going to attract a lot of Geminis. If you got the moon in the fourth house, you're going to attract a lot of Cancers. You see what I'm saying? Now, for the most part, this is just what you attract, and a lot of times it leaves you wondering, why did you attract that? Now, if you could get along with the person, it's because they're showing attributes of maybe where your sun is at and slightly where your Mercury is at. You see what I'm saying? Now, on the flip side of things, the people, places, or things that's going to bring kind of opposition or kind of bring turmoil in your life, whether it's through a relationship or an enemy or a person, place, or thing, or a relative, it's going to be whatever house your Mars is in. So say you came up in life, early in life, and for some reason you always had an enemy, or it always was certain fights that you got into, or certain things of that nature. If you got Mars, pay attention to where your Mars is at, because if Mars was in your first house, then 9 times out of 10 you may have got a lot of that energy from an Aries. If Mars was in your second house, then say you got into a relationship, everything was going good, but everything crashed. It ended up being one of your worst relationships ever. It ended up being a relationship that taught you the most and things of that nature. 9 times out of 10, that person was the sign of the house wherever your Mars was at. So if your Mars was in the second house, then 9 times out of 10, that person probably was a Taurus. See, it doesn't matter what sign you have in the second house. It just matter because this is like leaving dents. This is leaving you. This is out of your hands. This is not as dense as it is when we're talking about your chart as in you. We're talking about attraction and what's attracting and what's putting out in the universe. See, that's less dense. That's not even really physical. So you can't even really look at it like that. You have to look at it as far as it's leaving your personal way of seeing it, and it's just the way it is. And the house is just the way it is. Aries is ruled by the first house. Taurus is ruled by the second house, and Pisces is ruled by the 12th house, and you can go on and so forth. See what I'm saying? So that's how you have to understand that. So a lot of your enemies, just like for an example, me, my Mars is in the 6th house. So before I even knew that, coming up in life, a lot of enemies I had was Virgos. A lot of fights I got in was Virgos. A lot of close friends I had was Virgos that I'm not friends with anymore were Virgos. A lot of people I have a lot of disgruntled type energy with have a lot of Virgo energy, or have a lot of Virgo energy. You see what I'm saying? And things of that nature. Also, when it comes into people I attract, you know what I'm saying? My moon is in the 4th house. So even though my 4th house is Scorpio, I attract a lot of Cancers. So like one of my closest brother is a Cancer, you know what I'm saying? The girl I broke my virginity with was a Cancer, you know what I'm saying? One of my first long-term relationships was a Cancer. I attract Cancers and just get along with them really well. But I am an Aries Sun, Sag Moon, Leo Rising. That's all fire. You see what I'm saying? And I used to wonder that. I used to wonder, like, how I'm attracted to all these Cancers? And a lot of times I feel like a Cancer. I feel like I bring the party to me. So the party come to my house. I'm not really an outgoing person like that. So, you know what I'm saying? But I am an upbeat type of person. So it's like I am the party. So it's like I'd rather do that in my own circumference or in my own flight cave. I call it a flight cave or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I can have control over the realms of realities. Because when there's too many energies going too much when I'm out and about, you know what I'm saying? I kind of don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And it makes me uncomfortable. And by my moon being in the 4th house, I'm more comfortable in private settings, home settings. You know what I'm saying? More dealing with family, excuse me, and trying to gain emotional stability amongst myself. Whether I need to brood, or maybe I need to go somewhere and learn, or get emotionally connected with myself. You know what I'm saying? Before I can present myself, because hey, if I'm not right today, ain't nothing gonna be right for anything I do or any person, place, or thing I get involved with that day. So I need to make sure I'm right, and I know when it's that time for me to still off. And like I said, and then as far as my Mars, right? My baby mother is a Virgo, and that went super bad. You know what I'm saying? And I actually have full custody of my daughter and things of that nature. We're not gonna get into that story, but that's just part of an example of me telling y'all my Mars is in the 6th house. 6th house is originally ruled by Virgo, so even if it's a relationship you in, it's still going to bring some type of turmoil, or it's going to take wherever Mars at is going to take, and it's going to be where enemy or frustration may come from. You see what I'm saying? In some way, shape, or form. But it gives benefit. Like, if you activate your intention, your passion, your desire, activation in your life, then Mars, wherever house is in, whatever person, place, or thing fits that, it make it work. But at the same time, it's still different from the circumstance of higher dents and lower dents. You see what I'm saying? So it may not be from that person, but from another person who come and fuck things up. So, you know, that's That's a relationship between the mother and her oldest son when it comes into a lower scale. And you see how it don't make sense, but it still makes sense? It's just, that's the way things are when it's less dense and when you try to compare it to things that is dense. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you ever attracted a certain person in your life or a relationship and you was like, damn, how did I attract this person? 9 times out of 10, you have to look at what house your moon is in, and that person going to be that sign, not the sign. Like for an example, say your 4th house, or say your 5th house is Libra. That don't matter. If your moon is in the 5th house, because you're a Libra moon or something like that, the people you may still attract, and the people that make you feel like, oh, why did I attract them? I don't know why I attract them. Because the 5th house is originally Leo. So that person may be a Leo. And if you're not into astrology, you may be like, damn, why is I'm attracting this person? I'm not compatible, but this person just like me or something like that. 9 times out of 10, your moon probably in the 5th house, and you attracted a Leo. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't always play out like that. When these people show attributes of whatever house your sun is in, then that makes you be able to see yourself with them. AKA see. The sun brings light. It brings vision. See, it's like the thing with astrology is, astrology is only one roof, but you can use the planets for so many mechanisms. Like, that's what my channel is for. Like, this shit is not just astrology. This shit is nature. But once you tap into astrology, you're able to rise up another level. Once you tap into metaphysics, you're able to tap into another level. And once you tap into that level, you're able to look down. And the higher you is, the more you can see. That's like on a plane. You can see more land down than you can see if you was on the land. That's how it is with your spirit, metaphysically. So when you're looking down, you can see more. So you understand how everything correlate within that spectrum. So you may see more of the spectrum than the people you're around. No matter how high or low the scale is. You see what I'm saying? And definitely, if you're watching Archangel Uriel channel, you definitely see a higher spectrum than the people you are around. So off the bat, you already know. Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. Goddamn air.